Hi, welcome to Gather, Love, Thrive. I'm Danea Shanti, and I'm very excited to be here with you on New Thought Media Network. I want to give a quick shout out to Rev Brez and New Thought Media Network for hosting shows like this one, where we're looking at living consciously and following spirit in a wonderful way. So take a look at the link here on the screen and notice the donation link and maybe give some love over to New Thought Media Network. My guest today is Ro Marlin, and I love being with Ro Marlin. And would you share who you are and what you're doing in the world today so that we know everyone's listening?
Okay, thank you, Danea. I'm Ro Marlin. I am a medicine woman in the wise woman tradition of the European wise women. I'm also a medical intuitive and an embodiment mentor. And I predominantly help wounded healers and cultural change agents to come into themselves, to heal their bodies, and to come into their expression. So I like to say to become their own medicine and then bring that medicine to the world.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for doing that. And I work with you, so I know what that's like directly. It makes a huge difference in my life and who I get to be. So something I know about you, and similar with me, is you live by following your guidance. And here at Gather, Love, Thrive, we're focusing on helping people get to the place where they are living that whole life, whole integral life, and where they are following their guidance from inside. I am very curious about you and your relationship with your guidance and how you got to be living with your guidance. How did that happen for you?
Oh, thank you. That's a great question. How did that start with me? Well, first of all, I had to learn to listen to my guidance. And I have to admit, I've always been, and I still am, quite a stubborn person.
Yeah, speaks for me.
and also quite skeptical. And so through a series of life events that began when I was 8 years old, even, I definitely learned to either listen more quickly to my guidance and follow that guidance, because otherwise I felt like I would be dragged kicking and screaming.
Yes.
So either do it or
do it or
do it and have an easy go of it, or
struggle. Yeah. So just the way you said that, it makes me think that you have a struggle story in there somewhere. So give it up.
Yeah, for sure. So this story of listening to or not listening to my guidance. So maybe to give a little bit of a frame, I was living in Germany, where I did for more than half my life. And at the time I was living at and living in a spiritual retreat center, right? So I'm not living in it, but I'm living in a very small village in Germany. There I had a private practice. I was helping, co-running this very large retreat center. I was teaching intuition, self-healing, and
all the goodies.
All the goodies. And I had my life there, right? I had my language, my culture, my children, family, my career, right? My way of life there. And one day, there was a situation where my partner at the time was having a hard time, didn't know a way forward, right? And we were sitting together talking, and so talk about direct guidance, right? Yeah. I literally heard in my right ear, right here, it's time to go back home. And I was like, excuse me? Yeah, no, I don't think so. And anyway, where am I supposed to be going, right?
Yeah.
And literally, I got a half of a word, the name of a town that was, and only half of it because I cut them off, and I was like, all right, y'all gone now.
Yeah. So you got that message. You got resistant about it by what you just said.
Oh, yeah.
How long did you do that? Like, no.
2 years.
2 years. You were like, I'm stubborn. I'm not listening. I don't want to know what happened in that 2 years.
In that 2 years, oh goodness, everything and nothing happened. So
it's sort of like in a nutshell.
Yeah, in a nutshell, everything stopped. So clients fell away, students fell away, work slowed down to the point where I would walk through my house and be, what am I doing here? Relationship fell apart. Opportunities. I mean, everything just literally began stopping one bit by bit.
Yeah. You got stopped because you weren't following the truth for your life. Because like so many of us, you were having a stubborn moment that lasted a couple of years. And then you were like, you got spit out. You got spit out, you moved on, came to the United States. Now, I'm going to sort of push us forward a little bit, because one of the things we're doing here is we're focusing on the hero formula. And the hero formula is about helping everyone to access their inner guidance, that the voice that's wise inside. And so I am privy to, because we talked a little bit, that there's something that's a little edgy for you now. And we know that you're not interested in being stubborn these days. Most of us who have been clobbered a few times are not interested in being stubborn anymore. Just a few times. So you landed here in the United States, part of the community now. And I would love to take you through a little journey with me on the hero formula, because you shared so clearly how you've listened to your guidance and how you've resisted it. And so many of us do that. And I feel like it would be great to work with something that's alive for you right now. So is there a challenge I can work with you on, or something that's under your skin a little bit?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, great. So let's begin. The step one, there's 7 steps. Step one, we'll just take it a step at a time. Who are you at the time? So you're sitting with me, there's something in your awareness. Who are you in relationship to this thing that's a little edgy for you right now?
Thing that's a little edgy for me right now. So I would definitely have to say I am I am a medicine woman.
Yes.
Someone's a spiritual guide. Yeah. And I'm very concerned with the level and quality of spiritual teaching, knowledge that is being given out over social media today, right? By a lot of these so-called spiritual influencers.
Yeah. Some concern about how spiritual knowledge or wisdom or information is being put out there on social media. Step 2 is the predicament. How is that a predicament for you? What's your predicament with it?
What's my predicament with it? I think my predicament, would be I am a truth seeker, and maybe sometimes I get a little hung up, right? I'll get a real about truth, but what I really see, I think my biggest predicament is I see a lot of harm being caused, right? And my dedication of my life and my work is literally to the liberation and harmonious development of all beings. Right. Now that may sound lofty, but that is truly what I am dedicated to. And because of that, when I see such harm being caused, Yeah, that really causes a great amount of concern for me.
I get that. So I'm going to invite you to go to step 3, which is stay connected with, you just sort of pointed toward your body. Stay with where you feel that, it just doesn't feel good to see that. And I call this part step 3, asking the universe for help. Right. Someone can plug in another, ask spirit, ask the divine, ask source, ask truth, asking the universe for help. So let's just take a minute and have you literally actually drop in here and ask the universe for help and go right, because you're fast, you're a quick processor. Step 3 is ask the universe for help with this predicament. Step 4 is receiving your guidance. Now, because you already live a guidance-led life, chances are pretty good you're going to click into your guidance right away. So I'm going to have you go step 3, ask the universe for help, and step 4, receiving your guidance. This is a little bit like gymnastics. If it's at all possible for you to do any of that out loud, so we can bear witness, that would be awesome. Okay. Just see what happens for you. So step 3, asking the universe for help.
So I'm asking the universe for help. All of them. So I'm going to describe just a little bit of how I do that. How I ask the universe for help, right, is I'll make sure, that I'm in my center. So I move back into my center. I drop down into the deepest places in me, that being down in my pelvic center, right? So that is the place for me. And then what I ask is knowing what my predicament is, knowing who I am, or for me, I say standing in the truth of what is. I ask what wants to happen now.
Beautiful.
That is how I ask for guidance. So what wants to happen now? Okay, so I'm receiving twofold right now. Beautiful guidance. One is actually, so what wants to happen now is an actual opening, and let's see, a raging fire, right? So a flame rising up, and also feeling that sensation more right here in my throat. So for me, that is, yes, then that knowledge, wisdom, that all of who I am, right? Allowing that to come out and expressing in words. So that's,
and that feels very alive for you.
Yeah.
So that is what your guidance just offered to you. You said twofold. So allowing the fire of expression to be there, to be felt, to be with it. What's the other part of the fold? Because often our guidance serves up like, here's an appetizer, here's the main dish, here's a side dish, right?
Yeah. So I'm asking again, that's what wants to happen now. What wants to happen in a more expanded way, right? And I'm asking for images, actually, quite for very clear images. And what I'm seeing in the guidance I'm getting, and this is very, very typical for me, right?
Beautiful.
Is that's what is right now. Right. Next steps are, and I practice this every day, as so often in my life has shown me, right, with a stubbornness that we talked about earlier, is do this first, then the next, then the next. And my action, right, to take is that practicing sitting in, opening, and allowing this strong, more passion, right, to arise and embody that.
Yes,
Right.
yes. I love that you know the hero formula so well. You just flew through the steps. I'm going to recap for some people.
Okay.
So, who you were at the time, medicine woman, healer. Predicament was some of what you're seeing. I'm going to put my own word on it. Lack of integrity, if you will, or lack of truth being spread throughout social media. You asked the universe for help. You received a twofold guidance. One is feeling the opening of the fire coming up, not having judgment, allowing that to be the passion of that, feeling that, and then getting the guidance that this is what is now and do these in these steps. So because that was resonant for you, you chose those. You were like, yeah, okay, I feel the fire. This is good now.
Right.
And this is first. And then the next step will be revealed when it is. So that's choices.
Right.
And then action is your daily practice of, I'm going to sit and allow this opening and this passionate fire to be felt every day. Right. And so the last step is results. Now, we don't yet know what the result will be in the external going forward, because what you were just told is be with this step by step. But sitting here now at this moment, from where you began to where you are, what is a result that you're experiencing that is an energetic or internal feedback to you right now from what you just did?
Right. Well, I'm definitely noticing the expansion, right? The expansion in my lower center, right? And also we're feeling the heat of the fire, right? Really feeling that. Feeling my body just a little bit more, right? My entire body. So I can feel that energy moving into the cells of even down to the tips of my toes right now.
And that's
right?
happening for you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an immediate result that you're in touch with from doing this process. And I'll just throw this out to you because you are a medicine woman and you help people to fully embody. It looks to me like you're getting the living practice and experience of that which you teach others, which is an even more full embodiment with what you just opened up to. Can you share with me now where this journey has taken you, where you started, how you felt, and what you're sitting in now after going through that process?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in the beginning, right, I was definitely feeling, the feelings that arose when I see these spiritual influencers sharing always bits of truth, bits of, what we can recognize as, oh yeah, that's right and that's true. And then so much more misinformation in with that, right? And what happens with me is a fiery sense and a pressure right here that I can really call outrage, right? Rage. It enrages me to see that blatant misinforming of people, that leading them astray, and again causing harm. Right? It causes so much harm, the spiritual misinformation. And now, right, dropping deeply into my guidance, listening and allowing, I can feel how that outrage, right, of that pressure here in my chest has shifted to an opening there in the lower center, and that fire of rage, right? Maybe a red hot fire of rage has shifted to more a softer, if we're going to give it colors, okay, well, maybe a purple flame of more centered, maybe wisdom.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, the flavor I get from what you just said is, rage can feel contracting and like pressure emotionally in our emotional context. And then there's also an emotional shift because now it sounds and feels to me like a life-giving fire. Still fire, different flavor. And if something is life-giving, then it's feeding you as opposed to something that's taking you down. There you go. Right? And I know a lot of us, when we feel rage, it's contracting
Yeah.
and it takes us down, as opposed to the pure energy behind it, which is actually just pure raw life force.
Exactly.
And now yours is open more, because you're already open. Yours is open more on this particular topic. That before was an irritant. That's beautiful. That's awesome. So I love the transformation. The thing I want to point to is, you did the transformation. You went inside, you sourced your guidance, you made the choices of what to follow, you let the conversation happen, you brought that up for yourself. That's what I love about the hero formula, if I may say, because it guides people back to their own voice of inner wisdom, right? It's like, you've got wisdom in there. You've got the guidance you need for your own life. And when you turn to it, you source it, and then it feeds you and carries you and directs you forward in your life. And everyone has that.
Absolutely.
And that is what excites me, is getting people to live that way too. So thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing yourself.
No, thank you.
Yay, it's been
Danae.
awesome.
Thank you for being
Yes.
allowing me to be
And
here.
just want to welcome everyone to keep watching, because we'll have different guests each week, and we'll be sharing more of the voice of inner wisdom inside you in the hero formula. And a shout out once again to New Thought Media Network for allowing us to have Gather, Love, Thrive here, and all the weeks to come. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.